Thank you, Andrew and the Business Advantage International for the invitation to come to this very auspicious investment forum. I'm privileged to come and talk about the Papua New Guinea tourism sector. As you can see up on the screen, Papua New Guinea is a land of 1 million different journeys and 1 million different opportunities. I begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land which we gather together today and pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. I also extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders and the people of Torres Strait who share similar cultures with Papua New Guinea. Let me begin by taking you on a journey to introduce my organization, the Tourism Promotion Authority. The PNG Tourism Promotion Authority was established by an Act of Parliament in 1993 with its key mandate in marketing and promoting PNG as an ideal tourism destination. It is a fully funded government entity governed by a board with over 50 staffs, and we have 4 main divisions: corporate services, marketing, policy and planning, provincial coordination, and product development. I understand we're getting towards lunch and we're feeling hungry, but please bear with me. We save the best for the last. Our institutional framework sits on our Tourism Act and the National Tourism Policy of 1995. We also had a Tourism Master Plan of 2007 to 2017. And recently, last year, when I took on office, we developed the Tourism Sector Development Plan 2022 to 2026. We are currently reviewing our National Tourism Policy of 1995 and also doing legislative review to our legislation. The Tourism Sector Development Plan is framed after the impact of COVID-19 to recognize tourism as a renewable sector, as a key renewable sector in the PNG economy. Our vision is to revive and grow the resilient, inclusive, and sustainable tourism sector in PNG, and our mission is to make Papua New Guinea tourism a lead contributor to the national economy, preserving our PNG's history, living culture, and natural environment for future generations. The current state of the Papua New Guinea tourism industry prior to COVID-19, the PNG tourism industry contributes about 2.1% to the GDP, around 182.9 million US dollar. After the impact of COVID-19, that was reduced to about 1.6%, contributing about 122 million to our PNG economy. PNG holiday arrivals last year, 2022. PNG received about 69,376 total visitors in 2022, out of which 5,675 of the total arrivals of holiday makers or bona fide tourists arrived in Papua New Guinea. Of that, 40% are Australians, 32% comes from Asia, US about 6%, China another 5%, and Japan another 3%. Our tourism focus going forward, from 2024 to 2026, we expect the tourism numbers to increase. And by 2026, we expect over 200,000 people or visitors to have visited Papua New Guinea. That includes both business tourists and bona fide holiday makers. The Australian visitor arrival trends Australia is PNG's most important market for both business and holiday arrivals. Australians usually represent half of the total arrivals into Papua New Guinea, between 49 to 55%. Prior to COVID-19, the Australian market delivered consistent annual growth in holiday arrivals. So Australia remains our key source market in terms of arrivals. Tourism overview of Papua New Guinea. The tourism industry in Papua New Guinea represents an opportunity for diverse economic growth, supporting jobs and small businesses in rural areas. 60% of PNG international arrivals travel outside of Port Moresby. The beauty of Papua New Guinea is not in the urban areas, it is in the rural areas of Papua New Guinea. And the experience shared by these visitors, and we have had stories, it is unmatched anywhere in the world. Of course, PNG suffers from safety and security issues, and that has affected our reputation in our key source market like Australia and New Zealand. Added to that, we have high cost of destination. We are an high cost of destination, and that limits the tourism and that limits our potential as well. But then again, PNG has the advantage in its niche market and offers a specific opportunity for PNG as travelers that comes to PNG are highly motivated travelers that are willing to travel to the high-cost destination, cope with poor infrastructure, and take risks. Unlike Fiji and other Pacific islands, where they market mass tourism, PNG has an absolute advantage in our niche markets. The 5 niche markets of Papua New Guinea includes cultural tourism, bird watching, soft adventure, historical tourism, kokoda, diving, and surfing. In 2019, PNG, TPA, in partnership with IFC and the Australian Aid and New Zealand Aid, did a demand assessment and profiling of the 5 niche sector in Papua New Guinea. The global size of cultural tourism worldwide is about 270 million trips, and the global value is about 453 billion US dollar. Our focus is to try and capture at least 10% of that market. The reason being, we are the most culturally diverse country on planet Earth, and our cultural tourism product is unmatched anywhere in the world. And that is our huge tourism asset. If we can invest into that space, if we can invest into building cultural tourism, it has the potential to bring 4.5 billion US dollar into the economy. That is an absolute guarantee. Whilst we may focus on the extractive industries and guide our attentions and resources into that area, we have to look at what we have within our country. We have a rich diversity of culture. This is our heritage. This is the tradition of Papua New Guinea, and this can be monetized to bring the numbers that we want. Another important aspect of the niche market is bird watching. We have more than 27 species of birds that birdies around the world will die to see, and they come in numbers. It doesn't matter where it is located, in the mountains of Wabeg, or in Tari, or in Kutubu. These tourists pay the price to watch it because it involves a different passion for them to come. And these are the advantages that we have, and that is the focus of the tourism industry going forward, because we have to focus on our niche markets, and that lies our strength. The other is boat tourism. Kokoda remains the biggest iconic attraction in the Australian market. Kokoda shares something so significant to the Australians. They are part of it, and it will remain so for generations to come. And that is our advantage. Kokoda remains one of the biggest needs in terms of trekking, history, culture, and nature base. Last year, a total of 1,341 trekkers trekked Kokoda. Prior to COVID-19, 3,000 plus trekkers trekked Kokoda. In its peak, Kokoda attracted nearly 5,000 Australians. But on an average level, Kokoda receives about 3,000 trekkers, generating 150 million into the economy directly. The PNG government has embarked on a very comprehensive medium-term development plan, and I'm happy that for the first time the tourism industry has been given the recognition, and we expect if the government will also fund the resources to enhance the development of the tourism sector development plan and the medium-term development plan. Going forward, as we focus on developing the industry, it is only through the intervention of the government to support that viable industry for us to maximize the benefit in the industry. Our priorities going forward from 2023 to 2027 is to continue to do marketing, international marketing, with specific focus on the Australia and New Zealand market, because that is our key source market. We will also focus on domestic marketing and focusing on developing tour packages and travel itinerary. We're thankful for our partner, important partner, Air Guinea and Airlines PNG, that have come on board to partner us in developing packages and travel itineraries. We are also looking at reviewing our Act, our policy, and our regulations. Our main focus from 2024 onwards will be on developing the niche market, because that is where our strength lies. To developing birding sites, diving locations, historical tourism locations, cultural products, and adventure. We have good opportunities for investors to come, especially into places around Papua New Guinea. We need to at least have 2 or 3 more dive locations in Rabaul. We have to have 1 more dive location in Wewak and in Sundown, because they are niche markets and there are people that are already there, and if investors are interested to come, this is a niche market that would encourage investment in those areas. We are also looking at developing a 5-year cruise tourism strategy, and I am pleased to announce that this year, 2023, we have the numbers of cruise arrivals into PNG have superseded the numbers in 2019. This year we are receiving more than 100 cruise. Carnival Australia, based in Brisbane, has been very supportive, and the cruise numbers will surpass the numbers in 2019. This year, with over 100 cruises coming into Papua New Guinea, bringing over 90,000 cruise visitors, we are already projecting a revenue of $50 million into the economy. This is an important sector that needs to be further developed in partnership with important industry and provincial governments. We have realized that when the cruise ships have arrived into Alatau and Rabaul, we do not have the capacity to handle all the cruise passengers. And that is an issue that we need to deal with going forward into the future, starting next year onwards. But it is a sector that has seen tremendous growth, and we are looking into that. Moving on from there, we have looked into other sectors that we can partner, and TPA has gone into developing a special concept called sports tourism in Papua New Guinea. And we have recently brought in Justin Olam, our #1 export, rugby league export to Melbourne Storms, to come in as our brand ambassador. And we have been working with NRL. Part of that exercise is to showcase the good image of Papua New Guinea and to do market penetration into Australia, because we believe by using the platform of NRL, we can be able to sell good news messages and stories about Papua New Guinea. And so I'm pleased to announce here, in this occasion, that TPA has negotiated with NRL directly, and NRL has given us the green light to host the Pacific Test in October, end of October this year. That will involve the competition of 3 nations, Papua New Guinea, Fiji, and Cook Island. It will be a competition for 3 weeks in Port Moresby. It will be a festival of football in Port Moresby. We have limited time to spend to organize, but we are thankful for NRL to recognize this partnership. It will leverage our effort to showcase Papua New Guinea, because we will have commercials and TV rights coming into Papua New Guinea, and it is a milestone achievement. And that is what sports tourism can do for a country. It has been very successful in Australia. I have seen what happens in the Magic Round in Brisbane when I was here. The economy has generated more than 40 to 50 million Australian dollars in a space of 2 days. That is what it can do. And if we can do that properly by developing those products in those specific segments, we can be able to do a lot. We can be able to increase traffic. And I would like to guarantee the CEO of New Guinea that partnership is important. And when we do it together, though the tourism industry can be small, but it is vibrant and it can grow, because we are a very, very beautiful country in the world. And that has been confirmed by the Forbes magazine in its March publication. PNG is the 9th most beautiful country on planet Earth. It is. It is only 3 hours. It is only 3 hours away from Brisbane. Not 4 hours like Fiji, 3 hours. And so beautiful. No offense here, but it is the truth. And it leads me to say that going forward, we are looking at a specific tourism hub to develop. And that hub will be East New Britain, because it has all the attributes of the 5 niche tourism markets. And it is a destination that can stand alone. Absolutely beautiful. And I can assure you, it is 10 times beautiful than Fiji. No offense here again. But please, as you watch this video, it will give you a glimpse of East New Britain.
What if there was a place, unlike any other, filled with things unexpected, where live volcanoes were the welcoming committee, and wonder was your only option? Where the land and sea were the rhythm of life, where history stood still and came alive in front of you, where you were led around by mango scent and secret smiles, where a view was just the beginning, where the underwater world beckoned, where you could travel 100 years back by going 30 feet down. Imagine a place where man, woman, and child traveled for days to come together, to sing, dance, and celebrate a sacred world. A place where mystery invites you in, if only for a split second. A place where magic is on full display. This East New Britain. This is Papua New Guinea.
Thank you. The Simpsons Arbor in East New Britain is a colosseum of war relics. It is an underwater museum. Buried in it are hundreds and hundreds of war relics. On count, we have 32 planes in that harbor. More warships and tanks than ever. It is a museum, a natural underwater museum. If there is an opportunity for an investment into specific dive, it is none other than Kokopo or Rabaul. We encourage investors to come. There are land, there are opportunity, and Rabaul and Kokopo East New Britain presents itself as an ideal tourism destination with all the attributes and the beauty. You will be amazed into the natural wonder of this beautiful destination. And that is where we will focus next year, on one destination, and that is East New Britain, to bring it to a level that it becomes a standalone destination. Perhaps 5 years from now, it will be labeled in the same language as Bali, but we will call it Rabaul. We have engaged.
Greetings, I'm Justin Olam, PNG Tourism Ambassador and player of the mighty Papua New Guinea Kumus. I invite you to come and experience a million different journeys in my country.
Thank you. We have engaged the service of Justin Olam, and he has been a wonderful brand ambassador. We understand that there will be a resource boom in the PNG economy going forward from 2024 onwards. And it is a challenge on how we utilize what we have received from the extractable industry to re-divert those into industries that are sustainable, like tourism, agriculture, and onward. Currently, PNG investment incentives in the tourism space, we have a 10-year exemption from income tax for new businesses in 41 rural development areas, which includes restaurants and hotel industry. And we have an accelerated depreciation, 100% deduction available for the capital of boats or ships used by accredited scuba diving or snorkeling operators. You can find that in the PNG Chamber of Commerce website. To conclude, the PNG tourism industry needs a coordinated, targeted investment to grow the PNG tourism industry from 2023 to 2027. We've identified the 5 niches that we have absolute advantage, and that is our strength. Papua New Guinea has the potential to grow holiday arrivals to more than 100,000 arrivals per year over the next 5 years, if the PNG government through TPA and tourism stakeholders and investors make necessary targeted investments in air transport, accommodations, capacity, infrastructure, product development, regulatory areas, capacity building, and effective marketing. The proceeds from the resource boom to be experienced in PNG from 2024 onwards from the non-renewable extractive industry must be invested into sustainable sectors like tourism for our future generation, and to conserve and preserve our traditional history, cultural heritage, and environment. God bless Papua New Guinea. Thank you.